Hi, Amod.
Hey, hi Trupti.
Yeah, with the current COVID-19 lockdown situation in the country, so the biggest challenge for SMBs is to manage the April-June quarter.
Oh
So,
yeah, it's very, very critical. Yeah.
yeah. So I have prepared few points, and regarding that, I have
Uh-huh.
few questions to ask.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
the first is the EMI moratorium that the banks have announced. So, do you think
Okay.
that this will help the cash flows?
Okay. So the EMI moratoriums that the banks have announced for 3 months, where you can
Yeah,
actually postpone your EMIs, you can postpone payments of your EMIs and bank loans. It's actually a very good measure by the banks to help SMBs manage cash flows. But you have to be very careful in taking those facilities. Okay, because this is only a postponement of your payments. It's
right,
not an exemption. Yeah. So after 90 days, when you're going to make the payment, okay, make sure that you don't have a very big chunk to pay out.
right,
Yeah, so at this moment you may feel it's a relief, which is good. Yeah, but the idea would be to not really accumulate it over two or three installments and then be in further trouble trying to make the payments later on, because even after 3 months we are not sure how the situation is going to be.
correct,
Okay. So it's best that given the circumstances, in whatever way it's possible, it's best to keep repaying the EMIs and loans to whatever level you can do. Okay. You may not be able to pay full, but at least pay 50%, 60%, 70%. Whatever is possible in the regular cycle, try and repay it off.
okay,
Okay, because even the moratorium that is going to be applied, it's going to attract interest.
hmm,
So
right,
if you don't pay in April and you pay directly in say July, the 3 months that you're going to utilize that money, that is going to carry an interest. Not It's not
correct,
going to be the same amount that is going to be repaid in July. It's that X amount plus interest. So
interest,
again, if you accumulate it over 3 months, you're going to really be paying more. Hence, EMI moratorium should be taken very, very cautiously. And as far as possible, I would suggest that you keep paying out your EMIs regularly as possible, if not in full, as much as possible. Okay.
okay,
If ideally, it's best that if you can talk to your banks or lenders and try to work out better deals with them,
hmm,
right? Like adjusting your cash credits and overdrafts in such a way that you will be paying less. Yeah. So the suggestion here would be that try and work out better rates and try and keep the EMI moratorium away for a while and try to repay out your recurring EMIs on time,
okay,
because the burden later can be much higher, and we are not sure that what the situation is going to be after 3 months.
right,
So you may feel that in 3 months we'll be able to recover and then pay in one chunk, but we don't know at this point. So try and keep the cycles as they are at the moment.
okay.
Yeah.
The second question is that how to handle clients and suppliers in this situation.
Okay, so everyone feels that oh, this is a big shock, and now we have to solve our problems ourselves. This is
Hmm,
regional feeling, and every business will have that kind of feeling. On the contrary, it's very different. In fact, if the more we talk to our customers and suppliers, the
hmm,
more solutions is what we are going to see. Because see, everyone is in the same boat. Yeah,
right,
everyone is going to the same problem. Yeah, so everyone is thinking about solutions. So it's best that we communicate and talk to each other. Yeah,
right.
for single, I'll give an example. Like we have this American customer who is a manufacturing retailer. Okay, and
Okay,
his business has been has been seriously hit, right? Then in one of our discussions, we came up with an idea that, okay, so he says, okay, I work with Amazon and my business has been hit at this point in time. So why don't we create a e-course for others where I can help guide people on setting up their Amazon stores and
Okay.
promotion on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So it works, and they started already creating some content for it already.
Okay.
Another case of an Indian customer here is that they are into packaging business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now with the current situation, smart packaging, e-commerce packaging,
Yeah.
hygiene packaging, these are going to be very, very, very important, right? So they are coming up with it. They are already planning to set up units where these kind of packaging units can be created, and that gives them the opportunity to leverage the situation and get into new markets.
Okay.
If we are only thought of how, okay, we are going to only do digital marketing, and now how do we, it won't have worked. It's not going to work that way. Okay, the way it's going to work is we talk, we understand, we really, and then we now realign our marketing strategies and campaigns in such a way that the new areas, new innovations, new opportunities that are there, that can be leveraged.
Okay.
So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of talking to customers in this phase. This is not going to be achieved alone. This is going to be achieved by the entire group, by the entire business community together. Therefore, please talk to your customers, please talk to your suppliers,
Mm-hmm.
and get them on board. Okay, work out win-win solutions, and keep the businesses moving ahead.
Right. Uh, the another thing is that we are trying to realign our processes, but
Okay.
uh, like us, even most of the businesses, I'm sure they are not sure that from whether to realign the system cost or the team costs.
Oh, okay, I understand. I understand where the question is coming from. And I think it's because of the cost pinch or the cash pinch that everyone is facing, right? So
Right.
you want to really right size the operations, is
Correct.
what we say. But right size does not mean downsize. So I think we have to be very careful on that front, on where we want to uh, work on the system costs and where we want to work on the team costs, right? See, very, very simple example. The kind of investments that you have done in training your people to deliver,
Mm-hmm.
okay, on what they are doing just now. If we have to bench them or retrench them in worst case, right? And say in 3, 4, 5, 6 months time, you get a very big opportunity and you're going to need those same skills, the
Mm-hmm.
kind of cost that you're going to need to hire a new person, train them, and get them to be productive is going to be much, much, much higher.
Yeah.
So as a business, you have to be very careful in taking those people-based calls. Okay, as far as possible, try to retain your teams, reskill them. Okay, instead of benching them, why don't you reskill them? Why don't you look at opportunities? Why don't you look at innovations that are happening and where your business can really grow, and reskill them at this time? I think that kind of investments will go a long term. As far as system costs are concerned, yes, you have to invest in smarter technologies. There's no doubt about it. The
Yeah.
technology that you have been using so far, you'll have to reevaluate whether they are useful, or you need to make them more smarter, so that if in future some kind of situation like this or like lockdowns happen, whether those technologies can take care of the processes themselves
Yeah.
without too many interventions.
And not for
Those
this
kind of,
time, but beyond. Not for just for this
not
moment,
beyond. I
but
mean, this is just, yeah, this is just a trigger. This is just one trigger that has happened, and it's a sign of things to come. I mean, these things can happen in future.
right.
Worse things can happen in future. So we have to be ready to that, and therefore taking those system calls, taking those people calls has to be very, very carefully thought out. They cannot be impulsive decisions just because the cash flow is not in shape. You just do away with some heads. No, I
Layoffs.
don't
Yeah.
think so. That should be. Yeah, don't. I don't. I will not definitely recommend that approach. Okay, be careful. Yeah, talk to people. Okay, realign where the reskilling can be done, and hold on. I think so. The idea is keep the faith. The idea is keep the faith. It's very important.
Right.
It's very important. See, this is a change of world order that's happening. Okay, so everyone is going to undergo a major change. Everything is going to undergo a major change, and we have to do this together. So this is only going to be possible when we support and collaborate with each other. That
Correct.
is why we should be really working on this carefully and think of the long term. I think short term kind of thing. I think the government will support assist in the short term, but I think from the long term perspective, I think as a business, we have to keep that perspective on and plan accordingly rather than thinking of short term gains or benefits. Take a hit in the short term, but be prepared for the long term
Long term.
benefits.
Correct.
Would be the way to go. You find this convincing?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you had?
No, these were the three major points which I thought during the
I think yeah,
that
very very
I
good.
think the businesses would immediately think to take the approach on.
Yeah. I understand, and I mean we can't blame them. I mean whatever we do, we cannot. Uh, there's a saying in Hindi, कि सब कुछ का हम स्वान कर सकते हैं, पैसों का नहीं कर सकते.
Correct.
है ना? So that's
Right.
right. It's absolutely fine. You cannot live in a fool's paradise. It's right. But we have to be smart. We have to be prudent. We have to be careful before we take any decisions because it's easy to. And it's a very ironically, there's a Chinese proverb which says that it's better to measure 7 times than cut once. So
Oh.
it's better to measure it and then take that cut. Yeah.
Right.
So I think if we give it time, think well, then I'm sure a lot of good decisions can be made.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Hope this session was helpful for you. If please let us know your feedback, and if you have any queries or questions, you can write to us in comments or on our email ID business@zoomyourtraffic.com. Thank you for watching this video.